Hello, I'm Kaley and welcome to Flyer Nation. Today, I'm going to be joined by Kearney, Assistant Coach and Defensive Coordinator of the Lewis Men's Lacrosse team. Thank you for joining us today, Coach Kearney. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your journey to Lewis? We know that you started here, went to Marquette, and came back, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So right when I actually started graduate school in this school counseling program here at Lewis, Coach Peruzzi was hired into the men's lacrosse to start the men's lacrosse program here. And so, but that's kind of, as soon as that happened, I had a background, playing club lacrosse in college, being from this area and knowing this campus pretty well. I knew I wanted to get into coaching. And originally what I thought is I wanted to kind of go into the high school route and coach in high school. And what that kind of led me to is, seeing what Coach Peruzzi was doing here with building the program, I knew I wanted to be a part of it pretty quickly. So getting my start here, learning from Coach Peruzzi, understanding what it's like to be, a NCAA Division II program and all the great things that come from it, I knew we were doing something really special. When I got the kind of call to go to the Division I program and go to Marquette, I was able to kind of, expand my skills a little bit and learn a different side of lacrosse in that NCAA, Division I route. Realized that Division II really was just a part of something that I really enjoyed, the development that we could get out of our student athletes here at Lewis. I felt we were able to just do a lot more with our, with our athletes and able to develop them as people. Then, in some ways, some of the Division I routes, in the sense of that we got a lot of time with our athletes here, and there's a lot of development that was available for us to do here. So we felt that, getting back with Coach Peruzzi, kind of giving me the call to kind of come back and be the defensive coordinator, I was, I was on the first bus pretty much back here to Romeoville, just because I knew what a great coach Coach Peruzzi was, and that all the different athletes we have here, we were able to make a really powerful change in their lives too as well.
Yeah, so helping build that program, I guess right off the bat, what are some of your biggest accomplishments here at Lewis?
Yeah, I think the really big thing that just really stands out is us winning the conference championship last year, talking to Logan, Suchy, and talking to some of our other captains, seeing the program from the early on stages of, when we were just trying to get enough guys here to field the team, to the point where we were able to beat multiple top 25 teams this past year and win that conference championship. I think that just really put a nice bow on the entire experience for a lot of our student athletes that really helped to start the program for us. I view that as the biggest accomplishment really of my career so far, just being able to bring those guys that helped start it and took a chance on us as coaches. Really was a special feeling of just, hey, we were able to get them a conference championship ring and really put a nice, wrap of a bow on their experience. And that, I think, is going to really propel us into the future, because recruits have seen us grow from this lower level program of we're just starting out and trying to prove ourselves, to every single year of us improving and having a better record and going further in the conference tournament, the NCAA tournament. I think it sets us up for the future for a lot of success.
So coming off of that conference championship victory last season, do the expectations change coming into this new season?
I think we always want to try to level up in everything that we do, right? We always want to try to go a little bit further and do a little bit better. But some of the expectations we just had for our players in general is that we don't really want them to be satisfied with the fact that we won the conference championship. Making the Elite Eight last year, NCAA Elite Eight, was a great accomplishment, but our guys aren't really satisfied with that. Just getting to that point, we want to go further. We want to do better than that. And I think as a program, just where Lewis Athletics is in general, with the support that they've given us a ton of opportunity to just level up our program in so many different ways, which allows our, the rest of our team to really see that and really understand that we're not satisfied with just winning the conference championship. We're not satisfied with going to the Elite Eight. We want to take this program to new heights and to new levels, and that starts from off the field in the classroom, on the field, on the lacrosse field, and everything that we do, we want to try to level it up and just take it to the next level. So I think that's a big piece of what we're trying to build here with our program.
So is there any added pressure then coming off from being the champions?
I think there always is a little bit of pressure. The target's on our back. When we first started the program, I think that it was really easy to, kind of surprise some people, to kind of, make it so that they didn't have a lot of expectations for us. So we were able to surprise some teams and, upset some teams and sneak up on a couple of people. Now with the target on your back, there's a lot of really talented teams in our conference, a lot of really close games that we had last year. So we know that they're all looking at us and they're trying to catch us and trying to take over the conference. I don't think it leads to a lot of pressure on us, but I do think it leads to an awesome opportunity for us to take the kind of next step as a program, because we know that those teams are really talented and are coming for us.
So what are some of the biggest differences between men's and women's lacrosse, just for some viewers who might not?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things with the women's lacrosse program, I think that they're really, they're really doing a great job with. I think they're really trying to grow and trying to take that next step in the GLVC. In men's and women's lacrosse, the GLVC is one of the premier conferences in the sport. So you see that level of competition for both programs, that we're trying to kind of almost grow together in the same aspect of that they're trying to level up their program as much as we are. In terms of differences, I think there's always a few different rules. There's a few different types of contact parts of the game that makes it a little bit of a different game. But ultimately, the women's sport is highly competitive, and I think I would suggest that fans come out to both sides of the game so they can kind of see the differences. That women's lacrosse kind of can be a little bit more of a technical game in some aspects of it, while men's lacrosse is a little bit more physical just because of the rules differences. But ultimately, I think our women's program is doing an awesome job, especially with their new coaching staff, of trying to level up and take their program to new heights. So I'd encourage any fans here at Lewis and any students here at Lewis, go check out a women's game and go check out a men's game and kind of see the level of competition we're bringing to the GLVC and the rest of the school.
So we are going to take a quick break, and then we'll return with Coach Kearney and later junior captain Logan Suchy.
It is a new day for jobs and careers, and the skills needed to compete are rapidly changing. This is why more students are choosing Lewis University. Lewis prepares you for emerging opportunities in some of the most highly sought after fields. Higher education is the most crucial investment you can make in your future. Lewis provides you with a lasting education that will launch you towards success today and strong growing careers of tomorrow. Begin an education that will pay dividends for a lifetime. Learn more at lewisu.edu.
So welcome back, Flyer Nation. I am back with assistant coach Brendan Kearney. So how do you guys prepare for games? Does the team that you're facing or their players impact how you prepare?
Yeah, we respect every single opponent we have on the roster. I think one of the reasons that we've been able to grow in our conference and grow in in our place in kind of NCAA Division II lacrosse is that we respect every single opponent that we play, and we prepare the same. We always have the phrase, this is Coach Peruzzi's phrase, it's a big game because we're playing in it, right? So no matter what the competition is, no matter who the program is that we're playing, we want to respect them about the same amount as if they're the number one team in the nation, or if they're 0-16 and haven't won a game yet. We want to respect them the same and understand that in Division II lacrosse, everyone's got good players, everyone's got good culture, everyone's got good talent. I think it's every game is pretty close. We want to make sure that we respect every opponent because we know what it was like to be a program that's up on the rise and growing. We know that we used to sneak up on some people, and we don't want that to happen to us too as well. So we respect every opponent the same, and the way we do that is we do very extensive scouting reports, watch a lot of film, and we make sure that our players are prepared as much as possible for whatever the other team is ready to throw at us.
So what makes a player stand out to you during the recruitment process?
Absolutely. We want, first and foremost, student athletes. I think one of the big things with our program is that we've been able to just take good people and good students, and we've been able to develop them into good lacrosse players. So one of the big things is that, first of all, we get their transcripts early on, and we want to see if you're a fit for our university. We want smart athletes. We want good students. We want good students in the classroom that are going to affect the positive culture that is the campus of Lewis University. And then secondly, we want guys that want to put in the extra effort and work hard. We always like to say to all of our players, the worst team in the country and the best team in the country, they all practice 2 hours a day. You're not special necessarily for just going out there and having a practice. We want you to put in that extra work. We want you to put in that extra time in order for you to get better and to hone your craft and take your skill to the next level. And in the recruiting process, we try to evaluate that as much as possible of, hey, is this guy going to be a hard worker? Is this guy going to put in the extra work? Is this guy a coachable player? And most of the time, the good grades can kind of tell you some of those answers ahead of time too as well. So coachability is a huge piece of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to recruit here at Lewis. And so the academics kind of goes hand in hand with that too as well. If you can handle your business in the classroom, you're going to be able to handle your business on the lacrosse field and in most aspects of your lives.
Are there any specific qualities that you think would make a successful player in the program?
Yeah, I think one of the big things with our guys, we would just want to win with good people. We want to win with a positive culture, a team culture that is built on hard work and lifting each other up. A big piece of just what we're trying to do is that, at least for me as a coach, one of my favorite things is when I'm on the lacrosse field and I see that a player makes a mistake, and I'm ready to go correct him on that mistake, and I see one of my older players, one of my seniors, one of my captains, taking him aside and already coaching that mistake up and trying to positively affect change in their lives. So for us, when we're trying to evaluate that, we want to win with good people. We want to see what you're like off the field. We want to spend an entire day with you when you come on your visit. We don't want to just identify what you're good at on the lacrosse field. We want to identify what you're good at in all aspects of your life in order to see if you can make a positive impact with our program. And we've had a lot of success doing that. And if you are a good person off the field, you're probably a good person on the field. And we're going to win a lot of games because we just have good people a part of our program.
And how would you describe the culture of Lewis Lacrosse?
Absolutely. I think we're a hardworking, gritty group in a lot of aspects of it. And I think the big thing for us is that we just try to win with good people as much as possible. We want to be mean on the field and aggressive and pressuring people and being a hardworking, hard-dodging group that's going to give their all in every single game that they have. But at the same time, try to be, the nice people off the field that are, making a positive impact on the culture of Lewis in general. We want to, positively impact the athletic department here at Lewis. Later today, we're going to be attending the men's and women's basketball games that are here at Lewis. We want to be a positive, impacting culture in all aspects of what we're trying to do in the athletic department. In terms of what we're trying to build and turning the culture of it, we want hardworking individuals that are going to be giving their effort day in and day out, that are going to be positively impacting the culture of Lewis University off the field too as well.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Thank you, Coach Kearney, for taking the time and joining us today. Next, after this, we will be back with junior lacrosse captain Logan Suchy.
For over 50 years, WLRA has been on air showcasing countless students. As the first all-digital college radio station, Lewis University students are given access to industry-leading equipment that commercial stations utilize, equipment that creates, and equipment that brings radio to life.
I like WLRA because it gives me the opportunity to get experience with news broadcasting and working with radio.
Stop by De La Salle 210 or at WLRA Radio to get started on your radio career.
Welcome back with Flyer Nation. Today I'm joined with junior captain Logan Suchy. Thank you for joining me today. So when did you start playing lacrosse and what drew you to the sport?
I probably started lacrosse when I was 8 years old, partially because I thought baseball was boring. I just sat in the outfield the whole time picking grass. It wasn't fun catching any fly balls or anything like that. So I figured a new sport in my town was lacrosse. It was just growing. So I was actually part of one of the first programs in my community.
That's awesome. So what made you decide to commit to Lewis to play lacrosse?
One of the things was I wanted to move out of state. I'm from Minnesota, but I didn't want to go too far so I could still see my family and be close to home, kind of only 6 hours away. And a lot of it was the brotherhood that we have here at Lewis. It really drew me in. I went to a lot of different schools and they just didn't have like the same, family aspect that I think Lewis has.
Yeah, so as the captain of the team, I guess what are your responsibilities, your roles, duties in that position?
I think the team makes it really easy. I don't really have to do much. We understand that everyone has to buy in, and we don't really have to push too hard as captains. Everyone knows what they have to do. We just kind of help them guide, guide them into their everyday things, being, energetic at practice, making sure everyone's loud, everyone's talking, everyone's giving maximum effort, but everyone does a really good job on the team doing that already. We just kind of guide them.
So with your team, what has been your favorite Lewis lacrosse memory?
I'd have to say winning the conference championship last year. It was the first one for Lewis men's lacrosse history, so it was pretty cool. The year prior, we lost when I was a freshman, so having to come back the next year and winning that was huge, so hoping to do that again this year.
And how do you prepare for this season?
Our coaches this year made a big focal point on just, running, staying in shape, getting strong in the off season. The off season is still practically the season. You can't have any let up. You got to keep going. I mean, it's nice to have a couple months off, but in reality, it's like a job. So you don't really have that time off. You got to take it seriously. you just got to keep going.
And did you come to Lewis for lacrosse?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I committed here for lacrosse.
Yeah, and what's your major?
I'm business administration.
So what advice would you give any younger players looking at Lewis for the program?
I would say know what you want and find those values that you think will stick with you and stick with the other people here. I think that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to come to Lewis is I saw the values. I see how much time and effort they put into athletics and academics. They got business, I'm business administration. The business side of the school is amazing, and so is everywhere else. They really do a good job on making sure athletes and even non-athletes have everything they need to, have a good 4 years here at Lewis.
So what would you say to Lewis students to encourage them to attend some of your home games?
I would say just come out and be rowdy, and it's a fun time. It's not every day you get to see, people hitting each other and see people hooting and hollering and getting loud and getting up for their team. It's a different type of atmosphere compared to like other sports here. So I think it's different, and everyone should probably come out and see a game, and they might like it.
So that's all for this episode of Flyer Nation.